There comes a moment in every person's life when they begin to question their own worth. A moment when they look around and wonder, why does nobody believe in me? Why do people only respect those who have money, power, and success? Why does it feel like I don't matter? And perhaps you've asked yourself the same questions. Maybe you've spent years trying your best. Maybe you've sacrificed sleep. Maybe you've worked while everyone else was enjoying life. Maybe you failed over and over again. And maybe, deep inside, you've started believing that your existence has no value because you haven't become successful yet. But listen carefully. The world is strange. People rarely celebrate your dreams. They celebrate your results. Nobody notices the nights you cried alone. Nobody sees the anxiety hiding behind your smile. Nobody sees the battles happening inside your mind. They only see trophies. They only see money. They only see achievements. And because of that, many people begin to think, if I'm not successful, then I'm nothing. But that's not completely true. Success doesn't give you value. You already have value. Success simply makes the world recognize it. And unfortunately, recognition often comes late. Very late. Because while you're struggling, people doubt you. While you're building, people laugh at you. While you're learning, people underestimate you. And while you're failing, people disappear. That's why some of the strongest people in history spent years being ignored before they became respected. Because greatness is lonely before it becomes famous. Think about it. When you have nothing, very few people ask how you're doing. But when you start winning, everyone suddenly becomes interested. When you're broke, people judge you. When you're successful, people admire you. The same world, the same people, different results. That's reality. And reality is not always fair. Maybe you've already experienced it. Maybe you've had friends who disappeared when life became difficult. Maybe relatives compared you to others. Maybe people made jokes about your dreams. Maybe someone looked at your failures and decided you would never become anything. And perhaps those words still live inside your mind. Perhaps every time you try something new, you hear their voices. You can't do it. You're wasting your time. Be realistic. People like you never become successful. And slowly, without realizing it, their doubts became your doubts. Their fears became your fears. Their limits became your limits. Until one day, you stopped believing in yourself. Not because you were weak. Not because you lacked talent. But because pain is heavy. Rejection is painful. Failure is exhausting. And carrying disappointment for years can make anyone question themselves. But here's something nobody talks about. Every successful person has gone through seasons where nobody believed in them. Every champion has felt like quitting. Every dreamer has cried. Every winner has been misunderstood. And every person who eventually succeeded once stood exactly where you are standing today. Lost, confused, tired, wondering if it's worth continuing. The truth is, success is not beautiful in the beginning. It's ugly. It's lonely. It's painful. People love the story after you've won. But they don't want to live through the chapters that created the victory. Because success demands sacrifice. And sacrifice hurts. There will be nights when you work and nobody notices. Days when you give everything and still fail. Months when nothing changes. Years when it feels like you're running in circles. And during those moments, you'll start questioning yourself. You'll ask, am I wasting my life? Am I good enough? Will I ever make it? And those questions are normal, because dreams are heavy. They test your patience. They test your faith. They test your heart. But never confuse a slow season with a dead dream. Just because things aren't happening quickly doesn't mean they aren't happening at all. Seeds grow underground long before anyone sees a tree. And perhaps that's exactly what's happening to you right now. Maybe you're growing in silence. Maybe life is preparing you. Maybe your struggles are shaping you into someone stronger. Because strength isn't built during easy times. Strength is built when life breaks your expectations. When people leave. When money disappears. When nobody supports you. When failure becomes familiar. Those are the moments that create greatness. And perhaps right now, you're in one of those moments. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're disappointed. Maybe you're secretly comparing yourself to everyone else. Watching others succeed while you're still trying to figure things out. And it hurts. It hurts seeing people younger than you winning. It hurts feeling left behind. It hurts pretending you're okay when inside you're falling apart. But comparison is poison. Because everyone has a different timeline. Some people bloom early. Some people bloom late. But late blooming doesn't mean never blooming. Never forget that. Some of the greatest stories in history started with years of struggle. Years of being ignored. Years of rejection. Years of failure. And yet, those years became the foundation of something extraordinary. Because pressure creates diamonds. Storms create strong trees. Pain creates wisdom. And struggles create warriors. Perhaps your greatest chapter hasn't even begun yet. Perhaps the reason life feels so difficult right now is because you're being prepared for something greater than you can imagine. But preparation never feels comfortable. Growth never feels comfortable. Transformation never feels comfortable. The butterfly must struggle before it flies. The eagle must leave the nest before it discovers the sky. And you must endure hardship before you discover who you truly are. Because maybe, just maybe, your current pain is not the end of your story. Maybe it's the beginning. Maybe these sleepless nights are creating strength. Maybe these failures are teaching lessons. Maybe these tears are watering dreams. And maybe, one day, the pain you're feeling today will become the reason someone else refuses to give up. But first, you must survive this chapter. You must refuse to quit. You must continue walking when everything inside you says stop. Because life rewards those who continue, not those who surrender. And one day, not today, not tomorrow, but one day, people will look at your life and call you lucky. They'll admire your success. They'll praise your achievements. But they'll never know about the nights you cried. They'll never know about the pain you carried. They'll never know how many times you wanted to quit. Because that's the strange thing about success. People celebrate the victory, but only you remember the battle. And perhaps The battle you're fighting right now is preparing you for the life you've always dreamed of. Part 2: The darkest days before the rise. There are days when silence becomes heavier than noise. Days when your smile becomes fake. Days when you tell everyone you're okay. But deep inside, you're fighting battles nobody knows about. And perhaps you're fighting one of those battles right now. Because life doesn't always break people with tragedy. Sometimes it breaks them slowly. Through disappointment, through loneliness, through years of hard work with nothing to show, through watching everyone around you move ahead while you remain in the same place. And that pain, that invisible pain, can make a person question everything. Their dreams, their purpose, even themselves. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you've watched your friends succeed. Maybe you've seen people younger than you buying houses, building businesses, achieving goals. And while they celebrate, you sit quietly wondering, when will my time come? When will things change? When will my hard work finally pay off? And if you're asking those questions, you're not alone. Because every dreamer reaches a point where they become exhausted. Not physically, but emotionally. They become tired of hoping, tired of waiting, tired of trying. And sometimes, they begin to believe that life forgot about them. But life hasn't forgotten you. Your story is simply still being written. And here's what most people don't understand. Success is not a race. It's a journey. And journeys are different for everyone. Some people arrive early. Some arrive late. But arriving late doesn't mean arriving never. A flower that blooms in winter is no less beautiful than a flower that blooms in spring. And your timing, your journey, your struggles, they're all unique. So stop comparing your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20. Because comparison destroys joy. Comparison steals peace. Comparison creates insecurity. And insecurity destroys dreams. Remember this. You don't know what people sacrifice to reach where they are. You don't know the pain behind their smiles. You don't know the tears hidden behind their victories. Because everyone is carrying something. Everyone. Even the people you envy. Even the people who seem perfect. Even the people who appear successful. No life is free from struggle. No journey is free from pain. And maybe you've been carrying pain for so long that you've forgotten what hope feels like. Maybe disappointment has become normal. Maybe rejection has become familiar. Maybe failure has become your companion. And maybe you've reached the point where you're asking, should I just give up? Listen carefully. Giving up seems easy. For a moment, quitting feels peaceful. No more pressure. No more expectations. No more disappointment. But deep inside, you'll always wonder, what if I had kept going? What if my breakthrough was one more step away? What if I gave up right before my life changed? Because sometimes, the hardest moments come right before the greatest blessings. The darkest nights come before the sunrise. And the greatest victories often come after the greatest struggles. But nobody talks about that part. People love success stories. They love trophies. They love luxury. But they don't love patience. They don't love discipline. They don't love sacrifice. Because those things are painful. Success demands things that comfort cannot provide. It demands lonely mornings, late nights, missed parties, difficult decisions, and sometimes it demands becoming misunderstood. Because not everyone will understand your vision. Not everyone will support your dreams. Some people will laugh. Some people will doubt you. Some people will secretly hope you fail. And that's okay. Because not everyone is meant to understand your journey. The lion doesn't stop walking because sheep don't understand him. And neither should you. Never let small minds convince you to abandon big dreams. Never allow temporary pain to destroy permanent possibilities. Never let today's failures define tomorrow's future. Because failure is not your identity. Failure is an event, not a person. You failed, but you are not a failure. Read that again. You failed, but you are not a failure. And perhaps that's what you need to hear today. Because maybe you've been too hard on yourself. Maybe you've blamed yourself for every mistake. Maybe you've carried guilt for things you couldn't control. Maybe you've punished yourself for not being where you thought you would be. But growth takes time. Healing takes time. Success takes time. And becoming the person you're meant to become takes time. Be patient with yourself. You're growing, even when you can't see it. You're learning, even when progress feels invisible. You're becoming stronger, even when you feel weak. And perhaps, years from now, you'll look back at this season and smile. You'll remember the nights you cried, the moments you almost quit, the fears that kept you awake. And you'll realize something beautiful. You'll realize that the person you are today was born from pain, born from struggle, born from failure. Because easy lives rarely create strong people. Comfort rarely creates greatness. Pressure does. Hardship does. Adversity does. Diamonds are formed under pressure. And perhaps you are being shaped into something stronger than you can currently imagine. So don't hate the process. Respect it. Don't curse the delays. Trust them. Don't fear the struggle. Learn from it. Because one day, everything will make sense. One day, the tears will make sense. The waiting will make sense. The failures will make sense. And one day, you'll understand why life didn't give you what you wanted when you wanted it. Because life wasn't punishing you. It was preparing you. Preparing your mind. Preparing your character. Preparing your spirit. For blessings bigger than your current understanding. But preparation requires patience. And patience is painful, yet beautiful. Because patient people don't just reach success. They become worthy of success. And maybe, just maybe, the reason your journey has been so difficult is because your destination is extraordinary. So don't stop now. You've cried too much to quit. You've survived too much to surrender. You've come too far to turn back. Keep going, even if progress is slow, even if nobody believes in you, even if you must walk alone. Because one day, everything you're praying for, everything you're working for, everything you're sacrificing for, will finally become reality. And when that day comes, you won't just celebrate success. You'll appreciate it. Because you'll remember what it cost. And perhaps that is what makes success truly beautiful. Not the money, not the fame, not the applause, but the person you became while chasing it. Because in the end, success is not just about reaching the mountain. It's about becoming strong enough to climb it. Part 3. The day you decide to change everything. There comes a moment in every person's life when pain becomes greater than fear. A moment when being average hurts more than trying. A moment when staying the same becomes more painful than changing. And perhaps that moment is today. Because nobody changes when life is comfortable. People change when they become tired. Tired of excuses. Tired of regret. Tired of watching years disappear without progress. Tired of living below their potential. And maybe you're tired too. Maybe you're tired of saying, "I'll start tomorrow." Maybe you're tired of waiting for motivation. Maybe you're tired of blaming circumstances. Maybe you're tired of watching other people live the life you dream about. And deep inside, something is whispering to you, enough. Enough waiting. Enough doubting. Enough surviving. It's time to fight. Because here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Your life will not change because you wish for it. Your life will change because you work for it. Dreams without action are only fantasies. Hope without discipline is only imagination. And talent without consistency is wasted potential. The world is full of people with dreams. But dreams alone don't create success. Discipline does. Consistency does. Sacrifice does. Doing what needs to be done when you don't feel like doing it. That is what separates winners from wishers. Because motivation comes and goes. Feelings come and go. But discipline stays. There will be mornings when you don't feel like waking up. Days when you don't feel like working. Weeks when results don't come. Months when progress seems invisible. And during those moments, most people quit. Not because they're incapable, but because they expected success to be easy. But greatness was never meant to be easy. If it were easy, everyone would have it. The difference between ordinary people and extraordinary people isn't luck. It isn't talent. It isn't intelligence. It's the ability to continue when others stop. The ability to believe when others doubt. The ability to stand when others fall. Because winners are not people who never fail. Winners are people who never stay down. Read that again. Winners are not people who never fail. They are people who refuse to stay defeated. Look around. The world doesn't reward excuses. It rewards solutions. It rewards perseverance. It rewards people who continue moving forward even when life gives them every reason to quit. And maybe you've been waiting for someone to save you, someone to motivate you, someone to believe in you. But perhaps the person you've been waiting for is you, because nobody is coming. No superhero, no miracle, no perfect moment, no magical opportunity. You must become the hero of your own story. You must save yourself. You must make the decision. And that decision doesn't happen once. It happens every day. Every morning you wake up. Every time you choose discipline over comfort. Every time you continue despite fear. Every time you refuse to surrender. That's how lives change. not in one giant moment, but through thousands of small decisions. And don't underestimate small steps, because mountains are climbed one step at a time. Books are written one page at a time. Empires are built one day at a time. And success is created one habit at a time. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to know every answer. You just need to take the next step. Because clarity comes from movement, not from waiting. Too many people spend their lives waiting. Waiting for confidence. Waiting for money. Waiting for support. Waiting for the perfect time. But perfection doesn't exist. And time waits for no one. One day you'll wake up and realize that years have passed. And you'll either say, "I'm glad I started," or "I wish I had started." Don't let regret become your future, because regret is heavier than failure. Failure teaches. Regret haunts. Failure says, "Try again." Regret says, "You never tried." And perhaps that's why you're reading these words. Because deep inside, you know you were created for more. You know you have dreams that refuse to die. You know there's something inside you that wants to rise. Something that refuses to accept mediocrity. Something that refuses to stay small. And that voice, that quiet voice inside you, listen to it. Because maybe that voice is your future calling you. Maybe it's the person you're meant to become. Maybe it's the life waiting for you on the other side of fear. But fear will always exist. Even successful people feel fear. Even champions feel fear. Even leaders feel fear. The difference is, they don't let fear make decisions for them. They move anyway. They try anyway. They fight anyway. Because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite fear. And perhaps you don't need more motivation. Perhaps you need a decision. A decision that says, "I will not quit. I will not settle. I will not allow fear to control my future. I may fall 100 times, but I will rise 101. Because life respects persistence, and destiny rewards endurance. Remember this. Nobody remembers how many times you failed. People remember how many times you got back up. And maybe right now, you're not at the end. Maybe you're just at the beginning. Maybe your greatest chapter hasn't even started yet. Maybe the pain you feel today is creating the strength you'll need tomorrow. Maybe the struggles you hate are preparing you for blessings you cannot yet understand. And maybe, years from now, you'll look back on this version of yourself. The tired version. The broken version. The uncertain version. And you'll smile. Because you'll realize that person didn't quit. That person kept going. That person fought when nobody was watching. And because of that, everything changed. So stand up. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Stand up and fight for your dreams. Fight for your future. Fight for the person you're capable of becoming. Because the world may ignore potential, but it can never ignore results. And one day, the same people who doubted you will ask how you did it. And your answer will be simple. I didn't give up. Part 4: The Price of Greatness. There is something the world loves to talk about. Success. People admire it. People celebrate it. People dream about it. But very few people talk about the price. Because every great life has a cost. Every dream demands sacrifice. Every victory requires pain. And the truth is, most people want the reward, but they don't want the responsibility. They want the trophy, but they don't want the training. They want the applause, but they don't want the loneliness. They want the destination, but they don't want the journey. And that's why so many people stay where they are. Not because they lack talent, not because they lack intelligence, but because they refuse to pay the price. Because greatness is expensive. It costs comfort. It costs excuses. It costs laziness. Sometimes, it even costs relationships. Because not everyone will understand your purpose. Some people will call you obsessed. Some will call you selfish. Some will laugh at your dreams. Some will walk away. And perhaps, that hurts the most. Losing people you love. Watching friends disappear. Realizing that not everyone is meant to walk with you forever. But life has a strange way of revealing who truly belongs in your journey. Because difficult seasons expose fake support. And hard times reveal real loyalty. Never hate people who left. Thank them, because they taught you how strong you are. And never cry because everyone abandoned you. Sometimes God removes people because they cannot go where He is taking you. Perhaps what felt like rejection was protection. Perhaps what looked like a closed door was a change in direction. And perhaps what you called failure was preparation. Because life sees what you cannot. Life knows what you do not. And sometimes, the delay you hate is the blessing you need. But while you're waiting, keep working. While you're hurting, keep believing. While you're struggling, keep moving. Because life rewards consistency, not excuses. And one day, not today, not tomorrow, but one day, everything will change. You'll wake up one morning and realize that you are no longer the person who once doubted themselves. You are no longer the person who cried every night. You are no longer the person who begged others to believe in you. Because somewhere along the journey, you stopped seeking validation. You stopped comparing yourself. You stopped chasing approval. And you began building yourself. Piece by piece. Day by day. Failure by failure. Scar by scar. Until one day, the person in the mirror became someone you respect. And perhaps, that is the greatest success of all. Not money, not fame, not luxury, but becoming someone you are proud of. Because money can disappear. Fame can disappear. People can leave. But character remains. Strength remains. Wisdom remains. And the person you become, that stays forever. So don't measure success only by dollars. Measure it by growth. Measure it by discipline. Measure it by peace. Measure it by who you're becoming. Because some people are rich and miserable. Some people are famous and empty. Some people have everything and still feel nothing. But true success is waking up every morning with purpose. It is sleeping every night with peace. It is looking at your life and knowing I gave everything I had. And maybe that's enough. Maybe you don't need to be the richest person. Maybe you don't need the biggest house. Maybe you don't need everyone to admire you. Maybe you simply need to become the best version of yourself. Because that's where fulfillment lives. Not in comparison, not in perfection, but in growth. And if you're listening to these words right now, I want you to remember something. You are not behind. You are not finished. You are not forgotten. You are not too old. You are not too late. And you are certainly not without value. Your current situation is not your final destination. Your failures are not your identity. Your pain is not permanent. And your story is far from over. Yes, people may ignore you today. They may doubt you. They may underestimate you. They may laugh at your dreams. Let them, because people judge what they see. But destiny sees what they don't. And one day, when your hard work finally speaks, when your discipline finally pays off, when your prayers finally become reality, those same people will wonder how you did it. They'll call you lucky. They'll say you were blessed. But they won't know about the nights you stayed awake. They won't know about the tears you wiped away in silence. They won't know about the battles you fought alone. Because champions are not created in public. They are created in private. And perhaps the struggle you're facing right now is building the champion inside you. So don't quit. Not now. You've survived too much. You've cried too much. You've sacrificed too much. You've come too far. Keep going. Even when nobody claps. Even when nobody understands. Even when nobody believes. Believe in yourself. Because one person believing in you is enough. And that person can be you. So rise again. Dream again. Fight again. Try again. And if you fall, rise again. Because success does not belong to the strongest. It does not belong to the smartest. It belongs to those who refuse to quit. And remember, the world may forget you when you have nothing. But if you remain patient, if you remain disciplined, if you remain faithful to your dreams, one day, the world will have no choice but to remember your name. Final words. You are not worthless because you are not successful yet. You are valuable because you are still fighting. You are powerful because you refuse to surrender. And perhaps the greatest chapter of your life hasn't even begun yet. Keep going. Your story is not over. Read.